Alrighty, so here at Bathurst again for another LFM race. And this LFM race is actually pretty interesting. It's a pretty hard race in here. And I managed to scoop a win on this one. Unfortunately, I didn't actually record it. So I had to go back and record it afterwards as I was in a Discord call with my friend, screen sharing to him. Anyways, qualified 5th for this race. And immediately gained 2 positions out of the first corner, down the back straight. As we come into Griffin's Bend, these two are my main culprits here, my main villains. And we actually had a pretty good battle, as you'll see. Coming up the hill, coming up the ascent, I decided to back out a little bit. Pretty hard to drive when you can't see, but make a little mistake there. Cold tires. And they get away a little bit. I'm off into the grass right before the beginning of the descent. Never good to put your car off balance like that. Managed to pull it together. And they're actually going to get away just a little bit here till I sort of reel them in there. And you'll notice A. Hector's actually the leader of this race. He was in my last video. I was unable to catch him though, as he's very fast. Anyways, turn at the end of the last straight. Some contact there. And the second place is off. He's out. Into the last turn. Hey Hector, I don't think he was really paying attention there. I don't think that was on purpose. I mean, I just think that he was a little like in thought about how he murdered that man. Anyways, I dropped down 2 positions because of that. A. Hector also losing 1, compromising his exit there. Down the back straight, I'm gonna have the tow of the BMW, who doesn't take the tow of the McLaren. He's going early on the brakes and, well, unfortunately for him, much too early as I squeeze on by him there. Epic dive. Took me 3 laps to reel these 2 in, very slowly as I fought the whole time. A. Hector managed to get ahead of the BMW. This BMW in front getting a bad exit there. We're able to stay in a slipstream, but he also has the car in front slipstream. So we get ready for the ascent. If you did watch the last video, you'll remember A. Hector is slow on the ascent. And of course, in typical fashion, he goes wide there. Now we're all close. Once again, I just back out a little bit here. Get some space. I want to be able to see through this part very fast section. Vision's going to be very important through here. So we now get ready for the descent, which is kind of A. Hector's strong suit. Very, very fast through here. Getting a little sideways there. Managed to reel it in, but I end up losing speed on the way down as a result of that. P2 is going to get all sorts of bent up here. And we're going to get on in the second position. And A. Hector pulls away. And as we're behind A. Hector on the ascent here, he goes wide. As a result, loses some traction way out there on the outside. Smashes into the wall. I'm going to start to reel him in really fast. And man, he's got to be feeling the pressure seeing me right in behind him again. Knowing that this race I'm just locked in. I think I had the fastest time in this race right now. It actually stuck for the whole race. So he sees me with the purple marker right behind him. Gaining quick. Here's a strong suit once again. And unfortunately, he's going to meet the same fate as that BMW last lap. As I take first position. Hector getting dumped. On this lap here, before we started to come up the hill, I actually tried to signal to this lapper. Because I just knew I'd be catching him. He wasn't quite this far ahead. I did make a little mistake at the bottom. But through the downhill sector, way faster than I normally am. About 3/10 quicker every single time in this race. He's going to see me catch up, and I think that's what makes him make this mistake. The gap to the car behind is 8 seconds. It's going to grow there as that lapper just sits in the middle of the track. We gain about 2. Ultimately, though, lap 19, coming down. We're going to mess this up, and for some reason, this gave us severe damage and a very hard pull to the left. Slight pull, I wouldn't say very hard. But you'll see here, second last lap of the race, going up the hill, 6 seconds, 5.7 seconds to the car behind. And he's just going to slowly reel us in because of that gap. So we head down the hill, fighting the pull to the left, sorry. At the bottom of the hill, that gap actually stayed the same, but we lost a lot of speed down the straights. So the gap is now 4.3 coming in the last lap here. Fighting the pull, fighting the damage, but just so locked in that I just managed to link everything up perfectly so far. Last lap of the race, he gains 2/10 there. Into the downhill sector, this is hard with a pull. You'll spin right around really easily. Going a little bit slow. Still cruising though. Catching up to the lapper. Touch the wall, gonna compromise our exit a little bit, and the guy behind is just gonna have no shot of catching up, as we're gonna manage to come across the line for our first LFM race. Big old P1. Didn't actually manage to record the line cross. Wouldn't have let me if I did. So, saving right before the line. Anyways, that was a really fun race. Really close racing. Unfortunately, first and second dumped themselves on the first corner, and I just had to hold my lead all the way to the end. GG.